Good morning, mushroom friends. And let's see what happens here. We're going to take a walk around the beaver pond and take a look at a couple of things. Hopefully find some mushrooms. And we'll see what happens here. Hoping you guys can come along for the next hour and see what it is that we end up finding on our leisurely walk through the woods here in Auburn, New Hampshire. So, always something to see. We'll see if we can't run across some fungus. And anyway, if you want to ask me a few questions or talk about some fungus, we'll come back here at the end of our show and see what we can do. But for the next hour, we'll talk about what we see and find. And this is where we'll start her off right here. A really serene looking area here. That's what they call the beaver pond. So beautiful. We got some happy trees here. But yeah, this is where we'll start her off right here. See what we can find. But a beautiful morning on the rail trail. And take a look. But let's go over. We'll end up at another pond. We'll see what we can see. But I always like that little thing right there every time I'm here. Right in front of us here, we have birch tree. If you guys have birch trees, well, you're probably going to find stuff. And right off the bat, we have some Fomitopsis betulina. Pretty old though, you know. But when you see foamy in the name, it means some sort of fire, tinder. So I guess the drier the better with that one. But underrated medicinal, and one of the ones that we talked about was found on the Utsi Iceman. Fungus was an essential entangled part of our life all the way back. Well, probably since there was people and fungus, right? I mean, it's just just the way it was. Whatever's around you is what you acquire. So happy you guys can come along here. Let's take a look. Let's see what we find. Spider webs. Well, what do we got here? There's always something, isn't there? I don't know what these are. Some sort of small marasmus type of thing. Let's take a look. And we take a smell. A lot of times with these. But you know what's funny is sometimes you pick up a real chemical odor. And that one has a slightly chemical odor, but I'm not actually sure what this one would be classified as. These small ones are elusive, and we did bring a little pack here to bring some home so we can do a little bit of research. But these little guys here, these marasmus, we'll catch up with a couple of these. But as I said, sometimes, like that one is really chemically, and this one is garlicky. Yeah, I love these ones. Now we're going to smell like garlic for the rest of the walk. Not a bad thing. We do it all the time. Trained professional. But let's see what else. Oh, look at this, you guys. What do we got here? Ooh. I think we walked right past this one. Some sort of bolete. It looks like not the only one. Good. Cool. So we'll take a look at it when it first comes up. Almost looks like one of these black staining boletes. Well, let's take a look, because I'd be interested to know. But there it is. Wow. Oh, that's a beauty. Let's take a good look at this guy. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. That's magnificent. Wow, look at that. Wow, that's a beauty. Oh, I'm hoping we find a bunch more of these. I didn't do a proper video on this, but if you guys have never seen these before, we'll take a look. Because boletes have a way of oxidizing. Look at that. That's crazy. That's freaking me out, man. That's so cool. Wow. Nice. Well, look how fast that happened, though, huh? Sometimes it takes a while, you know. We did a KOH experiment on some stuff, and it did take a while. Oh, speaking of KOH, we don't know. Do we know? I don't know. Let's do this. Because in mycology, we do a little bit of this, that, and the other thing, but let's throw a little KOH on it. yeah, potassium hydroxide. Look at that. Look at that. We got all kinds of art going on here, you guys. And that's one thing we talk about a lot with mushrooms is that it's a varied hobby. You can be, you know, just nature, taking pictures, foraging for food. Look at that. Look at that. Definite KOH reaction. And with that, you know, we do have a little bit better identity on that one. But we'll throw it in a pack. We do have a couple of dried specimens of these ones at home. Not, you know, the thing is, I don't find these every year, so it is pretty cool. And I believe we call that one Neovalitis. What do we call that one? Oh, there's a little bunny over there. Rubinitis, something. I'll think of it. Some rustlers. Talk about that all the time, huh, guys? Rustler. We're running into rustlers. All right. Well, got our pack on, and let's start moving. Let's see what we can find. Cool. Well, we're already off to a pretty good start, and I didn't even. I had no idea. I walked right past that one, so that's why we walk down. Sometimes we like to do a circle path, but sometimes we like to walk down one side, which is this path. We'll walk down one side, and then we'll walk down the other. But anyway, let's do something here before we get too far. We got a couple friends in here, and here we are, roaming with Roscoe live. So how you guys doing? I'm Ross, and here we go. We talk and walk a little bit about mushrooms, and we try to find stuff, and we stay curious too. So always happy to have you guys along with the walk. We'll try to make it interesting. We'll try to find some stuff, and we'll see what we can do to enhance your mycology career, so to speak. I mean, you just know a little bit more about what's around. But anyhow, let's take a look at what we got right here, you guys, because we're going to find some stuff. It looks like I was really suspect. We were just on a path where we found a ton of cinnabar chanterelles. And the thing was, we were on a live TikTok, and they were all yellow. It was like, yeah, you're looking at yellow ones, buddy. No, they were super cool, and I have a video coming out. But good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. And let's take a look. I don't know what I'm looking at right here, you guys. So, but nice to meet you. Happy to have you, and I'm hoping you enjoy our little fungus hunt. I'm happen to be wearing a fantastic forage. We're going to be there the last weekend in September. If you guys are in New Hampshire, come on over. So let's take a look, because I don't know what these are, but I believe that they're the boletes that I talk about all the time. That the reason we find them is because they're parasitized by a mold. But it almost looks like we have. Let's take a look down here. Yeah, look at that. They're all moldy. You know, look at. But I'm guessing that these ones were probably these ones that we've been finding the whole time here. The borealis. Look at that one. That's crazy. But you know, when they're attacked by a mold, these molds right here can actually be an effective dye. You know, so if you guys look at the colors. See, now YouTube actually gives me colors. That's why we're doing more YouTube walks, because you guys get a chance to see it. I'm hoping we'll find some cinnabar chanterelles. Holy smokes! But look at this one, guys. This one is a green quilted russula. Of course, these are really good to eat. That's actually, you know, the green quilted ones. What do we got here? We don't know, so it probably doesn't matter. But yeah, the green quilted russula, we just found a couple of those the other day. And, well, I mentioned, I don't think I've ever found one that hasn't been eaten by something else. So, you know, as far as, that's the whole thing about when you go out to forage mushrooms. Yeah, you're really lucky if you find some that aren't already bug-ridden. If you like bugs, that's great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. And we're going to find some of these. I know we are. Look at that. Oh, yeah, we are. So they're going to be all along the path here. Maybe we'll play a game of how big we can find them. Pigskin puffball. Scleroderma. But, you know, the whole thing is the real Latin on that one actually means bumpy skin. That's kind of orangey. So that's where the Arianta is going to come from. Oh, what do we got here? Wow. That's a real party, isn't it? Oh my word. We always do stop by the horse drop-ins though, because there's a, the mushrooms that are on here are called porcophiles because they like poop, and you never know what we're gonna find there because it's something that we wouldn't. Well, what the hell are we gonna find here? It was something we wouldn't find normally. Oh, look at this. Perfect, right? You can tell. What color do you think that bruise is? What do we got though, you guys? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that's old. I don't know, but look at how elongated these pores are and how irregular that is. That's strange. That's strange. That's really strange. I don't know. Maybe it's been a Suillus. I don't know. I don't know. Pretty cool, but you can see that one indicative of some sort of red bruising, which is very unusual as far as boletes go. So makes me wonder what's going on there. But a lot of times when we're out here doing the recon, we're doing this. When we go back to the house, we've got some research to do because it doesn't matter how many times we come out here. We're always wow. Wait a minute. We're always amazed. Look at this. I have a video out today, guys. Yep, just like I said, it's this time of year. Look at this one. Someone already picked that one. Ooh. But look at that. Perfect, right? We can see how it looks. But if you look at my video today, you'll see how, these are like your button mushroom. This is a same thing, agaricus. Same one that's in your fridge. But look at that. And these are really, really good. If you can find some of these are really, really good. But look how beautiful that is. Oh man, like look at this. If you guys were looking to have one to eat, I'm gonna bring this one home and put it in the backyard. I haven't grown in the backyard, but look at that, you guys. I mean, son of a bitch. Man, are we finding cool mushrooms? These are beautiful. I mean, I just want to take a picture of that one. But anyway, I have a video coming out. Look at these guys. Been finding these today too. I'm not exactly too sure what we call those ones, but I'm sure they're pretty tasty. But yeah, as far as it comes down to this little fella, it's an agaricus. It's like the ones we talk about. The ones in your store that you're gonna find are the same one, same mushroom. This one is just called the campestris because campestris means meadow. And that's the second time we found them near a parking lot, so you never know. I find them on like soccer fields in these huge circles, but if you're anywhere where they treat grass or you have any runoff or anything, don't bother. Don't bother. And if you do eat mushrooms, you don't need to eat every one of them. A lot of times they're a flavoring agent, and they're just a different way to experience nature. So here we go. Look at that. The path is straight. This used to be a rail trail. There's a lot of them. Probably a bunch of where you live too. But we'll see what happens here. See what we can find. Stay curious. And want to make sure we have our knife handy in case we want to start picking, pulling. But you never know what you're going to find. Like I say, beauty's under your feet. Look at this. Look at this, you guys. I mean, what the heck do you think that is? Besides freaking beautiful. Oh my God. Come on. What do we got? Oh man. Oh, that's freaking gorgeous. I don't know. Then we have these right next to it. Right? We didn't even see those. But I have another one of these over here. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to come back and do a video. Look at that. Look at that. We'll come back and do a video on these guys. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know my boletes enough. And a lot of times, these guys are only going to come up not every year. Like I said with the last one we had. Not every year. But I'm going to come back and do a video. And you'll be able to see it on my TikTok. Well, probably here too. But if you're not over on TikTok, you can always come over there. And I'm more prone to answer your questions and do some talking with you over there. But I really enjoy you guys showing up at YouTube, where we get to hang out and do a little roaming with Roscoe, and that's just special, isn't it? I mean, you might as well just just let the dog poop. You know what I mean? I mean, why not? That's just crazy. But, you know, maybe you're coming back. We're coming back to shoot a video. Maybe they're coming back for some poop. Don't know. Don't know, but pretty cool little mycelial mass right there, isn't it? Let's take a look. We're coming into like some hemlocks and a little bit of mixed woods here with some drainage area. And well, we found all kinds of different. This is an area where we find more boletes than some of the other areas. What do we got here? I was saying we're not really going to cross the path, but when we see something, another one of these. Like I was saying, a lot of times we spot the boletes by spotting the ones that are parasitized. So anyway, here's a part of the rock wall that runs along this rail trail. And if you've ever been to New Hampshire, look at this gorgeous baby, huh? Oh my God, is that freaking beautiful? Hi there. Man, look at that, you guys. Oh man, alive. We just picked a bunch of rustlers the other day. Maybe I should do a little thing on rustlers, but look at that. But again, you know, if we talk about rustlers because of the way that they're composed, but this one here, you see how the gills don't quite break off. Yeah, they're not as brittle. Maybe they are, but anyway, a lot of times if you can find these and they're not eaten and they smell fishy, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yep. The shellfish rustler. A lot of people like it. Some people call it the shrimp rustler. But that's the whole thing when we talk about names, you guys, is that sometimes the names, they're confusing, right? Because, you know, grandma used to call it something else. Or, you know, like me, you just generalize and close enough. But with Latin or Greek, it's just not going to be a thing. And we're planning on doing something here with this. You guys are all familiar with this, right? But it has a name, like everything else out here. It has a name, and well, it's a great story because it was named after a mycologist, and it was kind of a friendly type of thing, or, you know, trying to get back at each other. And one of the guys ended up with the name. But cool. We got some really nice colors in those boletes, huh? And sometimes we find the gilt boletes, and they have just the same sort of coloring and texture on the top, and they're incredible. I'm trying to think of the name right now, but again, that's why we do this. Gives us a reason to brush up on everything. Make sure we're not oversighting any of our studies. But pretty cool. And I'm surprised we're not finding more things in the hillside here. But here we go. Let's take a walk. Never know what we're gonna find. But we did find a lot of the red chanterelles on the same rail trail, about a mile and a half down the road. And it was amazing. But the amazing part was that it didn't come out on TikTok, the camera that TikTok gives you on the TikTok live. What do we got here? Oh wow, look at that. Another one kind of like a marasmius type of thing here. But I think we found this one yesterday. I actually found this one in the backyard, and I wasn't sure what we were looking at, but this one's a lighter color, but pretty distinctive and rubbery too, right? Because that's one of the features that we'll talk about with the Satharella ones. They'll break right away, the stems, but you know, that's another one of the features that we look for. Brittleness. Of course, we talk about it with the brittle gills, right? And rustlers, they're always popping apart. All right, let's go see what else is in our future here. But pretty neat. We've had a couple of nice little discoveries along the path, and just never know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's another bolete. It's just amazing how that that mold can permeate the forest, and makes you wonder if it's just makes you wonder if the mold is actually there. It's the same argument that we talk about when it comes to lobster mushrooms. You know. Yeah. Yep. I know. So, anyways, let's take a little look here. Yeah, because we're not sure in the lobster mushrooms if it's, some sort of symbiosis that goes on in the mycelial realm, you know what I mean? Or if it's a spore that just, like, hey, I just landed on the perfect host mushroom here. I think I'm going to take up residence and make myself a tasty treat. Yeah, we don't find that many lobster mushrooms here. Then again, maybe I'm not going to the right places. I'm going to try to keep it varied on YouTube. We'll try to see if we can't do a little different type of walk here. Try to keep it interesting, and then we'll do a little question and answer at the end if you guys want, and we'll exchange contact, stuff like that. But here we are along the rail trail. We find a lot of coal, a lot of burnt coal along the edges here. But there's another one, another mold. And I'm almost thinking that one is called the Hypomyces chrysoderma, meaning gold skin. But I don't actually remember. But there's the Hypomyces that we run into on the Amanita rubescens. Oh wow, it's going down. Wow, this was over the road on one of our walks when we came down here. So you can see it's part of the water supply around here. So as the summer gets going, this gets a little bit lower. And when we're going down this path, we're just kind of taking a look along our right side here, and then we're going to take a little look along the left side here, which will still be the right when we're coming back. But anyhow, let's take a look. Look at how beautiful this is this morning, you guys. We're doing a little fungus survey of Auburn, New Hampshire, hoping that we find some cool stuff, which we kind of did. We've already found some pretty cool stuff. But we're always looking for the cool stuff. So, not that the regular stuff isn't all that much to talk about, but we'll see. We'll see what we see. We'll run into some animals out here. Don't know. Not many people in the woods today. Great bike path. I'm actually trying to get a bike to go down this path. I was going to rent an electric bike and see how far I can go. I believe you can end up in Haverhill, Mass from right here and all the way to the seacoast. But I'm not positive. We find enough mushrooms where we don't get that far. There's something gorgeous, you guys. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll see that one more time as we come through. But yeah, everything's doing its thing out here in nature, and we're trying to admire it. We'll be taking a look at anything that pops out at us, anything unusual. Not that not that the mundane isn't great, but we're out here for excitement. We walk along this little bit of beaver pond, listening to woodpecker. But here it is, the welcoming sounds of early morning nature while we try to explore our fungus. We'll see what happens. Oh, we got rustlers, more rustlers. We talk about these all the time because we're gonna find them in all different colors. We did already this morning. We've already found them in brown and orange, and we're all about the color. But we're trying to find the yellow ones. I know they're out, and well, we'll find them somewhere. But the yellow ones are pretty neat, and I wanted to take a spore print of them because they do have yellow spores. They're the only ones that really have the yellowish ones. But anyhow, rustler, so they'll probably be half eaten by the time we get there. We'll take a look here in between this set and the other thing, and we'll see what we can come up with as far as fungus. But we did find a few things already, and we always find these type of things. There's a Styrium type of thing. It's called the hairy bracket. Find that a lot. We'll be running into that. The Trichaptum biforme, the purple tooth polypore. Run into that almost every walk. And let's see if we can find some turkey tail. I'm still looking to do a little turkey tail thing here. So we'll get you guys interested in what it is that the turkey tail has to offer. But pretty cool. Stone wall here. You can find those everywhere we go. Hi, good morning. Hello, little doggies. How are ya? Aww. So, nice path though. Really great path for walking and admiring nature. We're gonna probably go up here for, another, well, quite a bit. Another 10 minutes up this path. And then we'll be heading it back and hoping we see something else. Kind of something cool right here. Like, I'm not exactly too sure what these are. We should probably get a picture for iNaturalist. We will. Oh, look at down here, you guys. Pretty cool. We were just looking at that, but down there, check that out. Those are really something. I'd like to get a little bit closer because, I mean, for me, that looks like the birch polypore, but it is a little too thick. It's thrown up more of a Ganoderma, but it is on birch. And a little strange. I mean, but I do find those, and if you've seen one of my videos, I remark about how, sometimes they can look a lot like pancakes. I mean, I always think they're like freshly cooked pancakes. So yeah, we talk about the purple tooth polypore, and let's see. This might be one of them. Let's see what happens. I don't know. It's so old, it really doesn't matter what it is, but I like to see if it's got any bioluminescent property here, or actually photosensitive, I guess we would call it, right? Because we play with the black light a little bit. It's one of those things. We've been talking about that on our walk today, where our touch, taste, sight, sound, and a little bit of chemicals. We use potassium hydroxide a little bit, but we'll shine a light on it too. Not that that's always going to be your identifying factor, but it looks cool. Looks cool. So see if we can find something that is a little more photosensitive. And well, we're looking for wildlife too. So, but that's part of the reason why between that and trying not to fall, I'm just kind of walking around, and I'm not really able to pay attention too much to our friends here. And we'll do some questions and answer at the end of the show here, you guys. And if you want to come back and hang out for a few minutes, we'll see what it is that you guys are considering to be burning questions. I'd be willing to answer them the best I can. But again, I'm on a learning adventure just as much as you guys are. I always have been. Probably always will be. That's part of the reason why we do this. Find stuff and stay curious, and staying curious is part of staying young. So look at that. There we go. Beautiful little Amanita. And they are really cute. And the slugs really like those ones too. So let's take a look around, see if we got anything else. But yeah, they're mycorrhizal, so they're in association with these trees. And that one, I believe we were calling the Flavoconia, although we have a bunch of them nowadays that are in the orange yellow group. And yeah, we've had a couple of different ones. And so, but the frost spoliate looks a lot like this, and named after a mycologist. So we'll take a look here. Some color in the woods. always something, right? But yeah, and it can be a little freaky. All right, pretty cool though. Amanita mushroom, you guys. I mean, a lot of times I take it for granted that you actually know what the amanita looks like, and it is an amanita. I mean, it's got this, cap, kind of that convex cap with got some maybe decorations on top. Usually colorful, some sort of color. They do have, with the exception of that Amadella group there, and also the Grisettes, have an annulus, a ring, some sort of skirting. So, but the whole thing is if you hang around here long enough, you'll be, you're gonna know the general shape of the mushroom taxonomy. And for the amanitas, I mean, really pretty easy to see. And with the boletes, usually for that convex cap with almost like a leathery appeal to it. A lot of times colorful. That one that we just found was super colorful. And I'll probably throw it on iNaturalist. Like you guys should, right? I always mention that. For all of us hobbyists. What do we got there? Huh. I don't know. Let's see. It does look like an amanita, but it's not. Another rustler. It's kind of a cool one, and I don't know this one either. But again, as we talked with these rustlers, they're called brittle gills, and that's why that other one, when the gills don't break off, that's a keeper. But I mean, look what happens. The way that the cells are aligned in these things. That's, I don't know. As much as I've heard they're good to eat, I guess you'd probably get them like this, right? So, but again, the red ones are in the emetic group, and if you understand etymology, well, emetic is probably something you don't want to experience. So it's kind of strange. And we might bite into one just for fun, because that's how you tell whether or not you're going to eat one. You bite into it and spit out a piece, and if your tongue burns off, well, you're not going to eat that one. But I think there is ways. Oh, cool. What do we got here? There's something growing on pine. Oh, man. But yeah, you can get a chemical burn on your tongue. Ooh, look at this, you guys. Wow. Let me see if we can't get a picture of that. Huh. And meanwhile, let's take a little look over here, because we got this little patch of these guys right there. Pretty neat. But I'm not quite sure what this is. I know we're talking some sort of a polypore, and maybe I've never seen it in this state. But before we get too far, let's just see if it's reactive to any light here. Not so much. Let's take a look underneath. Well, that's something else. All right. Well, we'll end up taking one of those with us and do our due diligence. But until that time, let's get ourselves an iNat picture, and let's see what we can do. But pretty cool, isn't it? Look at that. And let's take a look at one of them, because I don't know. It's kind of something that's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm really not sure what it could possibly be. Oh, look at that. It may have just been, parasitized. Well, that's funny. Let's see. All right, and then you can give it a smell. It does smell. It does have an unusual smell. And so does anything that's rotten. Actually, no. Look at that. It actually looks like it could be something used for dye making, huh? But look at the amount of moisture in that. I'm almost gonna say celery. Strange enough, that's the first thing that comes to mind on that one. So, pretty neat and something different, like I say all the time. I always run into something. But, hi, how are you?
Good, how's it going?
Great. Let's look at this thing. What do we got there? What do we got? Wow, look at that, you guys. So, Could be an amanita, to tell you the truth. That's what we were just talking about earlier, is that some people who like to pick puffballs get a little overzealous and think that they pick the puffball. Let's take a look. Huh. Well, I don't know. But if you ask me, there's a mushroom growing inside of there. So this is what an amanita would look like. This is what a deadly amanita would look like, you guys. That's what the problem is. So, I mean, there's something to be said about this right here. And, well, we should do a video on it, but I guess we are doing a video on it. Definitely not something you want to mess around with. You know, even as small as it is, that could give you liver damage. So, you don't want that, right? I mean, there's so many out there that are good tasting and easily identified that you don't need to do that. But there we are, a little PSA. Definitely not something you want to mess around with. But I watched one of the Mushroom Wonderlands where the guy was on there, and he actually had said that he was at a real market where they were selling puffballs, and these puffballs were, he cut one open thinking it was an amanita, and they were an amanita, and this person was selling them to unsuspecting people, thinking that, well, you've got to know what you're doing. And I'll tell you what, as much as I know what I'm doing, I'm not going to tell you I get it right every time, you know. And if you're harvesting for money, you know, you're just going out there and picking stuff willy-nilly. And you know pretty much what you're doing, but something like that can get away from you. Here's Sewillis, chicken fat. I don't know. But look at the scabering on that one. That's really something else, isn't it? But yeah, it's a Sewillis nonetheless, and it's starting to get a little tacky. These things can be so slimy we can shoot them out. Another one of those. Oh, look at this. What the hell we got here? Huh. All right, let's just see. Ooh. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, well, we're too deep in the woods to come back, so we're gonna have to take a picture for our iNaturalist and see what we got here, because I am not sure what. Like I said, with the boletes, as much as I do, I don't see them often enough. And but look at that. That one's got some scabering on it. Wow. Well, we're gonna take this guy home with us, but look at that. Almost makes me wonder if it's one of those zero camillus type of things. I don't find those, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, purple. The purple bolete. Yeah, zero camillus atropiparia, the purple one. But I don't know. That's got a bumpy cap right there. I mean, I almost think that this is something else. It's got a slimy stem too, you guys. So we'll take that back for observation. But oh, look at this. I see something else right ahead of us. Yeah, I've been looking for one of these, I think. But anyway, let's put this in our little box right here, because that was something pretty neat. And I know that the zero camillus are probably way bigger, you know, but I don't find them, and I'm not familiar with them on the East Coast. Look at this, you guys. Super duper. We just talked about this down at the lake, because I found an older one. But look at this one. Let's see what we can do. There we go. The painted bolete, but it's another Sewillis. We just got done handling this Sewillis there. But there it is. Look at that beauty. A lot of times we'll do a video on this one again, but I've got one coming out. But a lot of times we can see the yellow veiling on it, and it's really beautiful. And of course, well, it likes white pine, so we'll find a lot of that in July. And they can be extraordinarily beautiful. But that's how they start off. They start off, we'll maybe see another one out here. I know we have. That's how they start off. Yeah, they start off red with a lot of yellow, and then they go opposite with yellow with a lot of red. An old one. Not sure what that would be. Probably an old Nocturus. Look at this one, you guys. Ooh, son of a bitch. What do we got here? Look at that. Oh my God. Well, I think we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to shoot a little video and take a couple pictures. I hate to do that on our things here, but look at that, you guys. I'm gonna have to take a couple of those home. But anyhow, let's take a couple pictures, like I tell you guys to when you're out. Take a couple pictures of the said mushrooms. And let's take a look here. What do we got? It's got a little bit of hygrophony in there, and a little bit of decurrent gills, almost like, geez, what would that be? But look at the appendage margin on this one here too. Very distinctive, cool. But look at how many different different expressions this thing has. That might be something different, but look at this. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll actually take another picture. But anyway, here we are. Let's take a video. Here we are, roaming with Roscoe out on the path, and look what we found here. Well, I don't know what we found, but beautiful. We get to talk about an appendage margin here. We get to talk about a little bit of hygrophony, maybe a little viscid here, but pretty cool looking. And look at all those things. Almost made me think about the conocybe that we were talking about one time. But there it is, really cool mushrooms. So find stuff and stay curious, guys. There we go. Excuse me. But we are doing a little mycology work while we're out here, so I appreciate you guys giving me a little bit of latitude with being able to not have to come all the way back here. But let's take a look, because it's almost got that, like, you know how the Crogomphus has this that type of gill. It's decurrent, but it's in a strange way. Let's take those home. We'll see if we can't get at least a spore print color. But yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I guess it was worth the stop. I really don't know what it is, but it's very neat. So if you guys know, well, like I said, I do this all the time, and I don't find stuff all the time, but I don't know how to identify all of it either, as much as I want to. But I go home, we take a look at it, see if we can't get it under the microscope, and take a look at a couple different things, and just kind of remark about where we were, what the year was here. You know, try to remember how bad this season was. It was really rainy here this year, so it made me think like we were going to have different types of mushrooms come out that we don't normally see. And it's quite possible. We have seen a lot of different stuff, but every year is different. That's what's so fun about it. Let's take a little bit more of a walk here, see what else we can find. And I thank you guys for showing up and hanging out while we're walking through the woods. We're just trying to have a nice time finding a little bit of fungus. We'll bring some of them home. Let's see if we can't figure out what exactly we're looking at here. But here we go. Yeah. So if we go this way, yeah, we can go pretty much all the way down to southern New Hampshire. Actually, southeast New Hampshire by the time you get there. But take a little look around, because we're not going that far. We're just looking for some fungus on a nice leisurely hike. But we'll try to give you guys an hour worth of walking around Auburn, New Hampshire. Look at this, you guys. Nice. So Strabillomyces. But look at this, you guys. Son of a bitch, that's the first one all year, but it's time. Look at this. Very cool, very cool. So, a bolete. It's in Strabillomyces. There's only like 2 or 3 Strabillomyces, so, you know, they're all pretty much the same. But look at this. Wow. Wow, that is unbelievable. So, let's get a picture for posterity. And there it is. Holy smokes, you guys. What a beautiful cap. So let's take a look, because you know, you guys have been here for a while. I mean, you're like, oh yeah, the old man of the woods, pretty cool. But it's very cool, very cool. Look at that, you guys. Talk about an appendage margin. Holy cow, look at this. You can almost knock them off. But look at that. It's almost got, This one's really, really shaggy. But let's take a look, because if we had enough time, this one also stains black. So let's see what happens here. Cut this one apart. You can see that? Oh, it's going to end up staining black here. Oh, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Old Man in the Woods. And there we got the Pixie and Puffball again. Like I said, we'll probably find those all the way down the path. But really neat. Really neat. You know, and a lot of times, if you're around oak and you see the Strabillomyces, we're going to find it all over the place. Yeah. Yep. Oh, man. Look at what do we got here, you guys. Oh, what the hell? Glad we didn't turn around. Look at that. Well, it used to be a milky cap. Look at that. But that's why this one's on my list. This one is the hygrophoroides. Lactifluous hygrophoroides. Not anymore. But we might have another one coming. No, what do we got there? Look at that, you guys. It's a cool little waxy cap. Holy cow. That's what I mean. Just when you think you're not going to find anything, it's like, holy cow. But pretty neat. Pretty neat. That just means that the Lactarius are out. And I did put out a video today on my Beyond Fungi channel, you guys. So, wow, Jesus Christ, look at this. Son of a bitch. Oh man, I don't have time for this. Jeez, this is how the other path. Look at this, you guys. This is where I always find them. Oh my God, that's freaking. I wonder if they're coming out. I wonder if they're coming out on this one. No. Oh my God, why on YouTube? I came on YouTube because I thought we were gonna. Jeez. Well, take a look at my videos, you guys, and you're gonna see how extraordinary this is. Amazing. Oh my God. This has this pinkish orange color. Like I can't. Damn it. I know what you're saying. They look like yellow chanterelles. Well, they taste like. But my God, you guys. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to come back. I mean, what the hell is going on here? Look at this. Oh, if only you could see that. Well, you know what? We're gonna do another video. We just did a video. We just did a video on this one at the other place, but just hang on one more minute because you have to see it in person to appreciate what's going on right here. And I kind of thought that this would happen on this path, but I was kind of hoping that it was at the beginning. So let's take a look here, you guys. Well, here it is. Good morning, fungus finding friends, and here it is again. Look at this. Find some chanterelles. Well, there it is. There it is. This is where we're going to be picking quite a few of these little fellas. Holy smokes. I mean, all the way up and down this drainage ditch. So we've been finding them all the way along the top here. Well, we'd like to find them just a little bit further, but they are. They're actually, they're all over in these woods here. So, anyway, pretty cool. Chanterelles, cinnabar. That's very colorful, isn't it? Holy crap, you guys. Man alive. Something else. Holy cow, I can't believe that I can't. That makes me suspect about anything I'm doing here on YouTube. Wow. Wow, that is something else. Son of a gun. Got time for that. I got time for that. We'll do that on live TV. Jeez, that's one thing about doing lives, right? I'm not able to do all the work that I want to do. But, I mean, just the amount of fruit, and you guys can tell, is that the chanterelles will be like that too if they come out. But I've found so many of these cinnabar chanterelles along railways. And, well, it's not considered a railway, but it's an old railway. But, I mean, they're literally all over the place down here. So, anyway, when you find them, you find them. So, we'll get back to civilization. A lot of times these leaves out here, you know, you see those yellow leaves, and you're like, chanterelle? No. Get excited though, huh? I know. Yeah, definitely exciting. Oh my God. Just can't believe it. But a lot of times in these basins, but you know, the funny thing is, a lot of times when you find those the psilocybe mushrooms, it's the same thing. You're gonna find 10,000 of them, you know. But look at this, you guys. Look at that. I mean, oh, I wish you'd see the freaking pink color that this is. I just can't believe this. What do we got here? All right, what do we got? It's some sort of a, it's some sort of a rustle, I think. It's got a slimy top though, and we do have a little bruising. No, yeah, look at that. Look how fast that bruises. Beginning to think it's a Amanita. I can't believe you guys can't see this. Oh my goodness. I just can't believe it. I mean, these things are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous mushrooms. Just unbelievable. But look at, you can see where they're growing out of. It's kind of wasteland here. So, but they're everywhere. And yeah, that one's making me think that it's a type of Amanita. Can't quite see the base, and I won't dig it out. But this one, oh yeah, maybe right there. You guys can see it. I just did the video. The video is out on today. That's what I mean about these things being so so in tune with nature, you know. Because I literally did a video on that, the Amidalia group, of the section of the Amanitas. So, all right, we're gonna head on back, and if you guys have a couple of things you want to say, do, talk about, or whatever, we'll approach that as we get a little closer, and we'll take a look down this side of the path. I mean, we have a lot of places. We have a lot of places to explore here, you guys. So it's just a matter of whether or not we want to get through the first part of the trek. And like I say, if you guys spend enough time here, you'll be like, bam, Amanita. A lot of characteristics right there. We can almost see the base with a little bit of a vulva and some decoration. But look at that annulus. You know, the little ring that falls off of there. We have the decorated cap, and of course, you know, very distinctive, very distinctive, and very Amanita-like. That one is in the Gemata part of, and there's always controversy with that because people are like, well, Gemata don't grow here. I know, but their cousins do. There's another one out there. We got the orange one. Actually, I'm gonna look up what I'm gonna call the orange one, because there is a slight difference in these yellow-orange ones, and I don't actually know, because we got the Flaviconia and the Faustina one that are kind of covering all the yellows, and the orange ones are kind of, well, I find that they're kind of in the same group there. Little shrimp. But again, sometimes when you're looking for some of these mushrooms, you are looking for a shrimp. Look at that, very cute. You can see that, very nice, very nice. Beautiful decoration out in the woods. I always love our trail decorations. So you never know what we're gonna find, though, you guys. It's truth is stranger than fiction when it comes out to finding stuff. But we'll see. We'll see what we find on the left-hand side. But that was pretty cool, man. I'll tell you what. Anytime I find those areas, I mean, it's almost like chanterelle heaven, you know. I mean, it makes me want to forage. That's one of the ones I'm able to actually sell. I have a license for that one. But usually you find them so small, you know. That's the whole thing. What's so exciting. And then this guy right here, look at this, another Amanita. Let's just take a look, see if we can. Can't really see. A little bit old, but it's still got the warding on the top right here. So, you know, very Amanita-like. And you can almost see how the gills are free on that one, definitely. But that one's closer to being in the Pantarina one. But it's not. It's got its own little area. Oh, Russell. Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. Let's take a look. We never know. We never know. So, anyways, but we do find the craziest things out here. Hi there. And you never know. You never know. I'm always loving it, because just when you least expect it, it's like, bam! What the hell are we looking at? I mean, we're going to turn around at that junction right there, but yet we went a little further. And sometimes I say that mushrooms and mushroom hunting have a lot to do with life, you know, about opportunity and chance, luck, determination, just things that are character building, and you know, you can sort of relate, you know. But I related a lot to like Easter egg hunting, and finding stuff is cool. So, but you just never know. You just never know what you're gonna find, and you know that's why we're always on the hunt here. And I'm sorry that I'm not more active as far as being able to talk live with some of our friends, but in another 8 minutes or so, we'll chit chat, see what you guys have on your mind before we let you go find stuff on your own. Beautiful place here, and a great day here. We are like 74 degrees. It's really humid. We just had a lot of fog with, you know, almost rain coming out of it. So kind of tropical and really cool. You know, really cool for the mushroom hunting. So, and you know, we have to wait a few days after we get all the rain and wetness, but we're seeing the ones that came out after the last little bit of rain drizzle. But let's see what it is we can do to keep ourselves interested down here. You can see how high the water was down there on the ring. But like I said, the last time, 2 times ago when we were here, about 4 weeks ago, it was coming across the road. So there was a lot of water to be had. But great trail for, you know, walking and biking. And like I said, I might take an electric bike down here and see how far I can get. Not going to get too far if you're mushroom hunting from a bike. But I did want to explore some of these trails. There's a lot of, these trails go everywhere, and I don't know. I really don't know them well enough to know that I'm not going to be walking for 6 hours trying to find where I was. I'm sure they're all interconnected, but it's only been a certain amount that I've actually explored for obvious reasons. Who needs to go any further sometimes, you know? But if we're looking for something in particular, we'll maybe go off path and head down the road. But we'll see what happens. I'm expecting to see a few more puffballs, a couple of rustlers, and maybe lactarius. Last year we were finding so many deceptive lactarius, and they're a little deceptive. They'll burn your tongue. And there's really no reason to, you know, most of the time you're not going to eat them anyway. It's just, if you like the feeling of a 9-volt battery on your tongue. What do we got? Look at this. Rustler. That's an unusual one. Look at what happens here. Let's look at that rustler. It almost looks stinky, doesn't it? Let's give it a smell. Yep. Well, this is one of the ones it's in the Pecnoides group, you guys. So, you know, the thing is that this one smells more like maraschino cherries, and it smells like then it smells like bleach. I like that one. Wow, look at that though. Those are meaty. I mean, I don't know. I'm not even sure though. I'm gonna take one home. No, that's a rustler. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe, look at them all. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Because they do smell pretty good. I mean, sure, they smell a little bit like bleach, but those ones really smell more like cherry. Look at this. You want to talk about the red staining? Why do they call it the blusher? I mean, why is it called the red staining amanita? I don't know. Yeah, I do. And you do too. So I've had a bunch of those though. I've had a bunch of videos. I was like, maybe they don't want to see any more blushing, but you're making me blush watching all them videos. So anyhow, let's see what we can do. Wow. Oh man, distinct fragrance here of old water. Yeah, turtle poop. That's pretty. Oh, one of the best flowers for you. And you know, if you're gonna choose something to use for toiletry, that's one of the better plants you're ever gonna find. And well, you don't have to worry about whether it's not one of them 3-leaved critters. Yep. Because you don't want that story to be your story. Oh, look at that. Turtles. I don't know though. That looks like someone. I don't think they hatch, but I could be wrong. We didn't find them dug up all over the place. But look how soft and fuzzy that is. Make me just rub that. Sensory fun out. That's what we do though. We have more turtle eggs. Yeah, those look like they got torn up and eaten. But yeah, that's what we do. We come out here and touch, taste, and feel. And I'm glad you guys could come along. It's always fun to have a little bit of company on our walk. But I'm trying to create a hour-long video or so for YouTube in case you guys want to just wander around and admire the wonders of nature. We would have probably been into an hour, but we found those red chanterelles, which didn't look red. Look at that. And we found a lot. I did a thing on TikTok the other day where we picked up as many rustlers in the yard that we could find real quick, and super cool colors. We had like 5-6 different colors for sure. But there we go. We got kind of yellow orange. We had gray. We had red. We had orange. We had a white one. Not quite too sure what that one was. And then we saw the quilted one that had been eaten before we could even talk about it. I do have a couple videos on the quilted one. And very easily to identify if you want to, you know, there's some that, like, if you guys want to get into mushrooming, there's some out there that you're going to find that's like, you know, you're going to be very confident that, you know, you found the right one. Winner. So I always stick with these ones. But it's a great hobby to get into, whether or not you're a photographer, an artist, just a curious soul photographer, right? I mean, I store half of my pictures on iNaturalist. I'm out of storage right now. Yeah, my phone is just too full of mushroom pictures and videos. I keep a separate phone with me, and that one's getting full too. So we'll see. Most of my stuff is free to use and able to be accessed from any of the platforms. So they own more of my material than I do. And well, what else am I going to do with it, right? Except share it with you guys. So you'll be able to see this video over again if you really need to, if you missed any parts of it. And if you have any questions, we're just about ready to talk to you guys about how our walk went here, which was okay. I mean, I still think there's better days to come, and I'll find some great places where we can go nonstop talking and just seeing what nature has. But it's amazing around every corner that we find the strangest things, right? Because we found puffballs out here, which have a different, have a gastric way of creating their spores, and the chanterelles, which, you know, have more of a, it's not actually a gill. They're just ridges, a place where it makes it more effective to create spores. But we have a smooth one too. That's, you know, the black trumpets have the smooth surface with the pores. But we also have a yellow chanterelle with lateralis, and that one has a smooth surface too. But I think with the ridges, it's an adaptation to create more surface area where you can have more spore dispersion. But if you were here when we first started, we found the Agaricus, the Agaricus campestris, over at the end of the path, and it just so happened I just had a video, not here, but at another place where I found the same thing in the parking lot. Um, well, if you see them in a great place, I mean, you'll know what they are, and they're great tasting. I mean, not quite as meaty as the agaricus you get at the grocery store, but very good, a little nutty, but fairly easy to identify as well. So it's kind of neat to find those. We ran into the black staining bolete. We ran into another bolete that they actually don't know about. I'm gonna take a video, check it out on iNaturalist. What else do we have here? Yeah, we haven't run into any regular chanterelles. We did yesterday, but no regular ones, and you never know. There might be active hunters that know that the chanterelles here. I mean, that was a little far for someone to walk, I guess, to get the small red ones, but still, if you enjoy the taste of chanterelles, wild mushrooms, and the experience of getting out and finding stuff, it's all pretty cool. All pretty cool for sure. Hi there. So we're running into more of these boletes that are attacked by the mold. Oh, what do we got here? Jeez, we were just saying we didn't find any chanterelles, and boom, there you go. And pretty neat, you know. We'll see. Usually, I don't know how we walked past this, because we just walked past this a few minutes ago. Let's take a look, because usually when you find one, you can find more, but not so much in New Hampshire. I really haven't run across so many of them. But let's take a look at this guy here, because it's a beauty. Look at that. We were just talking about how these actually have ridges. These aren't actually gills. They're ridges that maximize the amount of places for spores. But look at that. It's got this this soft texture on the top, and white on the inside. But they peel stringy, and they're white. So look at that, almost like a twofer. Well, we're going to bring this one back and put it in our own woods, along with the red chanterelle. Huh. Well, that's funny. There's going to be a bunch right here. So, but like I said, there may be someone here that that was able to pick them up. The strange thing is about where I'm finding them here is that I'm looking in oak woods, and so far we've found them all with white pine. Almost every one, almost every single one. And here I am bringing them back home to see if I can get them to grow in the oak woods. But like I say, I mean, you never know. maybe we're just looking in the wrong spot. But anyhow, there it is, the yellow chanterelle, and we know it as a Cibaris, although I believe that as I forage it and able to sell it, it's actually called the Elanta. But there's a few more. Look at that. So good sign. We've got chanterelles in the woods, and I guess if we come back, we'll take a better look and see if we can't mix up a bag of golden chanterelles. They're not called golden chanterelles, but I mean, they're the yellow ones, and the red ones. Huh, there's something else we didn't run into. Look at that. We have the Gyroporus mushroom, I believe. Yeah, look at this, the Gyroporus borealis. People do eat this one too. You see that? I actually got a hollow stem, and that's where my fault came last week. When but look at this. See what it's called? The Gyroporus is. It's almost got a hollow stem, but sometimes it's got. If you cut it open laterally, sometimes it has this look of where it's almost spiraling. And it's almost got some vascular tissue of some sort. I don't know, but there it is, and we didn't see that on the way through. And of course, we were looking on that side before we came out. And well, I'm gonna come back and do a video on these, because I'm not actually too sure what I'm gonna call these ones here. But they got a beautiful top, and I know I almost thought it was the fake one, the Philotopsis, the fake one. But there's a bunch here. And maybe they're just coming up as a different expression. You never know. But we'll see what iNats has to say about that. And if you guys have any iNaturalist stuff to put on, go ahead. And if you guys put some TikTok videos up of mushrooms you find around your yard or whatever, tag me. Tag me over at Beyond Fungi at TikTok, and we'll repost them. We'd like to get you guys out there and finding stuff and staying curious, but also taking pictures. You know, because you might find something like this. I think it might be a trout lily. And then these guys here. A lot of people send me pictures of these and go, "What kind of mushroom did I find?" No, you didn't. But the funny thing is that they're 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 dependent on the mushroom. They actually are dependent on that. So they are intercepting the nutrients between the tree and the rustler. You know what's kind of funny is that my hands still smell like cherry from the rustlers. Those Pecnoides group, I call them, just because they're in that same brown. Oh, look at this. We're standing right on top of a couple mushrooms. Like, more rustlers. That's a weird one, though, isn't it? It's got a strange expression on those, too. Huh. I mean, I don't know. Other than it breaks apart like that, it doesn't... look at this. We walked right past them. A ton of them. But that's what I say about... we were talking about Henry David Thoreau today because it was his birthday. And he said not only is heaven above you, but it's right at your feet. And sometimes you have no idea. No idea. The closer you get, the more you find. But anyway, you guys, it's that time to get going. And I'll scroll through here and see if we have a couple of people. We got Musical Gnome in here. Musical Gnome. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, she she ended up getting the fungus bug, you guys. So if you're on TikTok, go visit Musical Gnome because that's how you might end up if you hang around with Beyond Fungi too long. But hopefully you stay curious, find stuff, and if you got some videos, like I repost any of her stuff I ever see. So if you guys want to repost your videos, then come on over. Come on over. Great to see you, Musical Gnome. Awesome to have you in here. And well, we did find some cool stuff. So oh, we had Paula in here. That's awesome. Love that, Paula. Good morning. Happy Saturday. And always nice to see you. But anyways, yeah, we're doing okay today. We're doing okay. So appreciate you guys showing up, hanging out, and well, we're gonna post this baby up on YouTube, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, find stuff, stay curious, and enjoy the journey, you guys. This is what we're doing. So be well, take care, and happy hunting. Good luck. Stay safe, and we'll catch you the next time we go live here. But come on over to TikTok if you're not busy, and you're always welcome to scroll through my video collage right here on YouTube. So be well, take care, enjoy, and we'll see you again. This concludes our broadcast day. Have a great one.